Well folks, the BattleBit news mill just keeps on churning. As we push into the close of 2023, the BattleBit developers have been cooking up some big stuff for the community to wrap up the year with. And on top of that, BattleBit is going free to play for this weekend, which means now is the time to give the game a go if you've been on the fence about it. G'day there once again viewers, your mate Kamikaze78 here, and today we're going to give you the skinny on BattleBit's big updates as it pushes into its free to play weekend. So yeah, as I said folks, BattleBit is going free to play on Steam between November 30th and December 4th. And it's safe to say that a lot of work has gone into the game since its early access launch back in July, which, you know, in the playtesting stages was the last time people were allowed to play BattleBit for free. A lot of work has particularly gone into the content, quality of life, and the general balance of the game to make it the best it's ever been. So if you've been keeping an eye on BattleBit from the sidelines, wondering for when the right time is to jump in and give the game a go, well, I think now might be the perfect time, guys. The developers have also timed this perfectly with yet another Twitch rival showdown, which will be taking place on November 30th, 12 PM PT. And you guessed it, your boy is back once again, not only participating in the event, but leading a squad. This squad will feature Hippo Thick, Snoozin, Mia is AFK, Pogstream, Big Bodster, Robocat, and Don't Poke the Bear. This is going to be an absolutely incredible event, folks, featuring 240 creators going head-to-head against each other. So be sure to stop on by my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Kamikaze78 to cheer us on. And if last time is anything to go by, there may be some Twitch drops running in the background for you guys to snag as you watch the broadcast. So something in it for you guys as well. But as if that big news wasn't enough, folks, it looks as though the developers are trying, keyword there being trying, to get some updates out to the game before Rivals and that free-to-play weekend, and these updates are slated to be pretty massive and impactful for how the game is going to play. Starting off with probably the most exciting news of the bunch, especially to my support class mains out there who have been begging for a new weapon for a while now, well, you guys are finally having your prayers answered. Introducing the RPK-16, a new light support weapon that appears to be the AK-15's bigger brother. While we don't know exactly how this weapon is going to perform yet, I've got a feeling that this thing is going to hit like an absolute truck. It seems to have this slow rate of fire, yet heavy sounding oomph to it that is going to really afford support players the means to hit like a sack of potatoes, while also having more rounds per magazine to do it with. It does appear to have some pretty chunky mobility related penalties though attached to it, which is honestly to be expected from a weapon of this kind, but nonetheless, I am very much looking forward to getting my hands on this RPK-16 when it hits the game. Hopefully this is the first of many new weapons coming to the support class, and maybe, just maybe, we can finally get our hands on that M60 in-game very soon. But on the topic of weapons, the developers have taken the time to reclassify the game's arsenal into the right weapon categories. And truth be told, I've been waiting for this for a while because it still felt incredibly weird to see the Scorpion Evo sitting in the carbine category when we all know it's a PDW, and, you know, there's a bunch of other misalignments like that throughout the game, and that's being fixed. Now, while this may not sound like a big material change to the game and more of an aesthetic change to satisfy the gun nuts within the community, this is actually going to have some impacts on which guns are available for which class. I've got a graphic on your screen now of the currently proposed split of weapons for each class out there, but you'll see that the recon and the support classes in particular are getting some more additions, which will go some ways in giving those classes far more versatility in weaponry options. Hopefully we continue to see more weapons added to the game and, you know, see this sense of variety continue to grow over time, but this is definitely a good step in giving more weapon variety to more of the game's classes out there. Now, aside from weaponry, the developers have been doing a lot of work to the game's UI to bring both new functionality and to also make the game just cleaner to look at. Without a doubt, the biggest body of work pertaining to the UI is the communication and fortification placement menu. If you've played BattleBit before, you'll know that the current in-game menu is both limited in functionality and just cumbersome and awkward to use, let's be honest. Well, the developers have been sharing some clips and tidbits of the new revised system as of late, and this looks like a huge step in the right direction. Now, you have the ability to construct placements and use your squad points, as you currently do right now, but also submit orders to your squad like attack, move and defend pings, mark flags for capture, and even issue social callouts by the sounds of things to a certain extent. The system seems to resemble that of a Commodore system akin to Battlefield games of old, and I'm very happy to see this get some much needed work. While it's far from a groundbreaking and revolutionary feature for me as a schmoother shooter kind of player, it's going to go a long way for those who enjoy tight-knit squad gameplay and getting the most out of teamwork. It's another great quality of life update. On top of that, the game's compass is also getting a small visual pass to match the evolving UI design, a small but welcome change in my view. But speaking of UI related features, BattleBit's developers are looking to add what has turned out to be a very controversial little feature, queue spotting. I'm sure we all remember the queue spotting mechanic from Battlefield games of yesteryear. Well, it's coming to BattleBit as well, and the reaction I've seen from the community has been pretty polarizing. Some love the idea as it will, help to bring slightly more readability to the core game. Others absolutely despise it because it turns the game into a more arcadified version of BattleBit from what it currently is. As far as mechanically and how it's going to work is concerned, pinging an enemy player will spot them for 4 seconds with a little Dorito above their head, and if that enemy player is killed within 15 seconds of being spotted, the spotting player will grant an XP reward as well. You cannot spot players through bushes and trees, and I presume that logic also goes for walls and buildings, but that hasn't been explicitly outlined by the developers yet. I'm just assuming that's the case at the moment. Ultimately, it's going to change the experience of BattleBit quite a lot, definitely leaning a little bit further into its more Battlefield influence, if you will, as a game. But personally, I think I'm gonna like the addition. The limitations on the duration of the spots sound like it's a good step in the right direction to ensure the system's not too egregious, but obviously only time and exposure with the system in action will actually give us an idea as to, how egregious or how impactful it is with the game overall. So again, a pretty big change there, one that's going to have pretty cascading impacts on the game and how it's going to play. However, if we are going to talk about what is possibly the biggest change in this update when it comes to the game's, I want to say, core design and core balance, it's a change that's being made to bandaging speeds. I know, it sounds a little niche or a little, specific for it to be so impactful, right? Well, hear me out, folks. Now that all classes can self-heal themselves with bandages, the developers are exploring the possibility of giving all classes a self-bandaging speed that matches that of the medic's bandaging speed. And well, I think it goes without saying is just how big a deal this actually is for improving the uptime and the survivability of all the classes in the game. It's worth clarifying that this buffed bandaging speed will not apply to the other classes that are bandaging other players. This is only for self-healing mechanics as it currently stands. But as someone who mains the medic class and uses it as a battle medic more than a supportive medic overall, sorry, I'm the problem, playing any other class and healing myself as I need to feels incredibly sluggish. I feel like my character's in slow motion by comparison to what the medic can do, so I just catch myself playing medic most of the time. But with this potential change, oh my god, the floodgates are going to burst wide open in making the other classes feel more viable. The assault class may even become my new go-to, noting all the other benefits that it carries. And ultimately, folks, the other classes being more viable in the game is a good thing for the game. It encourages more squad play, more teamwork, and more identity between players and the playstyles they enjoy, but at the same time, it encourages more independence for the players who prefer a more solo playstyle. You're going to run into less medics now that are just, using the medic class for their own self-interest because, well, again, the other classes are being moved up the totem pole into a realm of far more competitiveness. It's a win-win situation overall and will make the game flow a bit smoother as well. If the developers decide to commit to this change, my word, I think the game is going to make leaps and bounds in the right direction in the name of making more playstyles far more valid, and we're going to see far much more creativity in the loadouts that are out there. As a little cherry on top, the devs also released a little screenshot of the new and revised skin system for the game, which again looks to be making some really good progress. I think we're about to start killing each other with a lot more swagger to our loadouts, if you will, but I've also got a feeling that we're going to be waiting a bit longer for the skin system to be completed given the scale of the work that's being done there. Ultimately, folks, it looks as though BattleBit is looking to close out the year in a big way. And if the developers can successfully get this content and patch update out to the core game, my god, it would be bloody fantastic. very, very exciting times to the game, guys, and I cannot wait to bring you all the content in relation to the updates that are coming out. If you guys enjoyed today's video, a backhand of the like button would go a long way, and if you're new here, consider subscribing for more BattleBit and other first-person shooter content as well, guys. And also, come hang out with us, guys, over at twitch.tv/kamikaze78. We've got a fantastic community over there where we talk a bunch of smack, a lot of cursed memes appear there as well, and it's just an overall great time, guys. It'd be great to have you there as well. But as always, folks, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Peace out, and I will see you guys all in the next one. Take care, guys. Have a good one.